Hi, this is Oddball1975 and welcome to Baldur's Gate on the Xbox, and this is me messing up totally. This is the closest I think I've come to dying, totally messing up. Now I thought I'd positioned my guys quite well for this fight against the big monster. I was basically using Lizelle to draw it over. She was basically going to both, mostly combat the imps that arrive partway through, the mephits, and Karlach was, the main plan was to use her as a thrower to do most of the damage that she does to things, to draw it in and then use the hammer. Right? Simple. That was the plan. That's how we started out with the plan, and I haven't done this fight since they made it more difficult and brought in the increased stuff that's going on. So, I was a little like, okay, I'm just gonna bring it in, smash it with the hammer. It's not gonna be too difficult a fight. I've done this before. Use cutting words, use the thing, and just basically trash this dude. It can't be that difficult. Surely it hasn't changed that much. Worry about basically just not a lot really. Just calmly go about smashing this damn thing. Generally I rely on Karlach to do my heavy damage in this, and this is where I kind of made a mistake in this fight. I did something that unfortunately negatively impacted the amount of damage Karlach outputs quite dramatically. It was a bit annoying. It was my own fault. I totally did something stupid. I did a couple of things really stupid in this fight, and you'll see them. Now at the moment she's got a really good weapon to be using against this dude, and it's pretty effective. Unfortunately, at some point I make a mistake and I choose the wrong weapon to throw, and once you start throwing that weapon around, it comes back to you, and then you can only change that weapon with an action. But at this point everything is going smoothly. I mean, that's gone very smoothly up until that point. I mean, Karlach has taken a bit of a kick in, but that's to be expected. She was front and centre, and that's her job. But, that's what I've got healers for. But all in all, that first hammer blow worked out pretty well, and that's how I wanted my characters set out, and that's how I wanted them to work. Now, the important thing is getting her back in position to do this again, and ultimately I think with this fight its positional sense is the best thing to do. I mean, the best thing to do is obviously stay up high on the step, right? I should have targeted the methods with Nipsy. I forgot there's more of them when it comes to honor mode. When you choose honor mode, I kind of forgot there's this many of them, and there's the ones from the side as well. I totally blew that. Totally forgot about that. And they are actually quite annoying because they can use heat metal and breath weapon, which is actually pretty nasty. So yeah, because if you're holding a weapon that's got a heat weapon on it, it gives you disadvantage on your strikes. They're a pretty annoying little debuff of creatures, and obviously if you kill them when you stood next to them, they do lava damage. So all in all, they're annoying as hell. So like I said, the easiest way to combat this is actually stay up on the high ledge, you can use crossbows and bows to shoot the handles and turn them around that way, which is cool. I don't know why I'm not using push attack to push it away from me when I smacked it. That's really dumb, but that's just me being really dumb. You know, I'm using trip attack on a flying creature. I'm so stupid. Okay, mistakes were made. Issues may have happened. Like I didn't use the superiority dice on that bow attack, because then it might have done enough damage to actually get a kill. There were a lot of mistakes made in this fight, it has to be said. I'm not the best, but had I stayed up on the step, you can cheese this fight. You basically stay up on the step, use minor illusion to attract the monster to the middle, and then crush him with a hammer. It's really simple. Me and Woody have done it repeatedly. It's not cheating, but it feels really cheap. And you know, I think I'm not against cheesing certain things, but I'm like, it's more fun challenge to actually do them. I did say one of the things I'm doing in this honor mode is I'm trying to play it like I had a DM in the room. Like, would my DM let me get away with that? And the answer is no, he wouldn't let me cheese something like that. The same with the stealth archery thing. You can cheese this game quite well with stealth archery. Again, not something my DM would let me get away with, so not something I've taken to doing when I've been playing. If you know what I mean, I kind of played this playthrough like I had a DM in the room, to a certain extent. I mean, yes, some of the builds I've done are quite powerful, but they're nowhere near the cheesiest you could go for. They're nowhere the nastiest you could go for. There's some of the builds you can do in this game, especially the long-range stealth archer ones, which are just broken. There's a lot of the paladin builds that are incredible amounts of bursters of damage, which I'm not necessarily. I mean, I'm not against powerful builds, certainly not. But you know, I'm kind of the opinion that they should at least be. There's certain sort of things just too cheesy. That I probably should have cheesed my way through honor mode at some point just to get the achievement, and not worried about overpowered builds at that point. But yeah, if I don't get through it on this playthrough, playing like this, I probably will resort to some cheesing it at certain points. This is where it starts to go wrong. I wasn't quick enough getting the tap back on to put the heat back in play. There's just generally some things that I do that are a bit wonky at this point. Not the best. Like, I mean, I know I want to equip my hammer, but wasting a turn to re-equip something is kind of annoying. Yeah, this fight is annoying. It's fun, but also annoying in a weird way. At this point, I'm not worried about damage. I just want to draw him over to me, so hence why I used the dagger, because it's not going to do any damage anyway. It's just to draw him over. Now here is a complete total misclick and mess up. So I cast Sanctuary, and I'm going to move around and life preserve and restore some hit points back. Right? This is going to totally work. So let's see. I've got to move. Nope. I just, instead of life preserving, did something really stupid, and now I'm the target. That was a mess up. You know, all I wanted to do was move around and then life preserve, and now I've got all four characters that have taken a decent amount of damage, and I didn't get my life preserve off straight away, and now my healer is the most damaged person, you know, and gets totally walloped. See, the mistakes were made. It's got to be said. And yeah, now I'm like, that's not gone well. And yeah, I was about to throw the poo scraper. I'm actually saving that for a very special occasion. That's going to be used in the final battle. It's the final thing I try and kill the final boss with, just for funsies. Now, this is where I go wrong. I pick up the returning pike, and now that's taking my hammer out of my hand, and now I'm stuck with the returning pike as my weapon. And I just realised, like, that's what I've done. So, though I've managed to achieve what I wanted to do, which is make Karlach the threat so I can get her over here and get him, draw him over this way. That's not been ideal. You know. And here, so I've got to get some hit points back on her so she can get hit points back on other people. I've got to use the wheel, which I should be crossbowing. And yeah, look at the amount of fire around. This is not going well at this point. I should have just... I don't know what I should have done with Lizelle here, really. But, yeah. They don't want to get hit anymore, I think is the order of the day for Shadowheart. And now I've got him chasing after Lizelle, that's drawing him away from where I want him, which was dumb, and now Lizelle's down. So this could have gone better. It's going really badly. I need to draw him to where I want to draw him to, and I need to get this wheel turned because at this point you can't damage him, you have to superheat him. So yeah, that's not been going well. And also Lizelle's not getting enough healing, everyone's like looking weak. This has not been going well. And again, I'm in a position where he's not superheated, so I can't actually damage him. So that's a pain. I again try and draw him back over towards the middle, but it's all a bit of a struggle from now on. I started off so hot, so well, and now I'm just constantly missing attacks. I've got wounded party members. It's just a little bit of a struggle. It's got to be said, just a little bit. And I could have done with some luck going my way, but this was never going to be one of the easy fights because it's a pain. This fight's a bit of a pain. I gotta say, the having all the abilities on Shadowheart means that all the healing kit she's got is really good because it not only stands people back up, but they get Blade Ward, they get extra hit points. Here I should have done it, I didn't, but yeah, I should have used Preserve Life because why not? And here I'm kind of like looking at what options I've got, and then I should have remembered I have Misty Step, which I kind of forget for a while, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a Give Yankee. I get a free Misty Step. Give Yankee are totally broke. They are just, I think they're a little OP, as races go. And now, at least he's going to get superheated up. But I no longer have my hammer, which is the best way of damaging him. And also that area of attack now is putting everyone at risk. He's doing damage to everyone really well. So, yeah. I ended up doing the Preserve Life. I think it only gets Karlach and Shadowheart, but I really need it on. I really need to get it on everybody, but that's all I could manage to do. Lizelle's a bit far away, and so is Nipsy at the moment. And yeah, I don't know why I went for this. I probably shouldn't have done, but it's damage is damage, I suppose. It is force damage, but it charges him up and energizes him, which means the next person there is going to get blasted backwards into lava, which is probably not a great thing. And yeah, let's do something really stupid like the shooty trip attack. I mean, it worked, but it, you know, it's quite hilarious that actually worked. And she's doing a little bit of damage, not immense, but doing a little bit. And now she's out of superiority dice, but you know, she's doing her part in this. And yeah, I needed to have my hammer equipped here because, you know, the damage I'm doing with the polearm is not as good as it would have been with the hammer. I mean, the returning pike's a good weapon, but it's just not, you know, it's not as damage output-y as the big hammer that she had on her and Great Weapon Master. Yeah, there's like that whole debacle with the returning pike kind of stalled this fight, and you didn't do me any favours, but I should have done better. There was some things I should have done. Action economy wise, I messed up. My initial positioning was good, but I didn't really plan for it going as badly wrong as it did. And yeah, as you can see, everyone's really hurt at this point. But you know, this is going to do some. I'm going to do some big damage to him at this point, and try and bring it back into my favour. I mean, I have set him up nicely for a second hammer strike on top of his head, which is going to help. Obviously, that didn't really help Karlach, who's lying underneath all that, but you know, life's a little unfair at times. And yeah, all in all, Karlach had a bit of a rough deal in this fight. Getting killed by her own team and all that, but you know, mistakes were made, things happened, and yeah, I shouldn't have done this. I should have just turned the handle. Well, actually, I can't remember if I did do this or whether I just turned the handle, to be honest. Be interesting to watch back, because I definitely should just turn the handle, and what I should be doing is shooting the handle to turn it, not messing around. There we go. Finally remembered you can shoot it and do that the proper way rather than messing around walking to it like I did a couple of turns beforehand. But yeah, I think that's brought it back in my favour, but it's still messy. You know, he's only got a few hit points left, but I'm still got characters that are close to death in awkward positions, and yeah, I was like, I probably should have done more healing than that. But and this is where I forget that he has knockback effects, which is a dumb move. But you know, mistakes happen. You know, the healing continues. The whole thing with Dungeons and Dragons is healing is not actually that effective. You're better off killing things and doing damage than you are healing. And if things have a knockdown effect, you've got to kind of remember them. And obviously the blast radius on that, because Karlach just got brought back. She was right in the blast radius for that. So that didn't work out too well. And yeah, I don't need to do that much damage to him now. But so now every little helps. It's not the most amount of damage that I can do with Nipsy, but Magic Missile, the great thing about Magic Missile, never misses. I mean, the Scrolls of Resurrection are there for a reason. You're not going to get through an entire playthrough perfectly, but I feel like I didn't do this fight well. Things went wrong, mistakes were made. There was a couple of big misclicks. There was the returning weapon replacing Karlach's weapon, which really limited the amount of damage he was doing. I kind of chose the wrong special arrows here and stuff. I mean, this one is definitely one worth using because it stops him healing, but he's not going to heal anyway, and I know that. Just a general rule of thumb. Anything that stops the enemy from healing is usually a good thing. But yeah, Karlach's only got a bonus action, which, you know, yeah, which wasn't the best. But ultimately, this fight could have gone better, but it could have gone a lot worse. You know, this is not one of the hardest fights out there, but it is a tough one. And this is when I realised I used all my area of effect healing already, so time to throw potions at people. Because the good thing about her is even when she throws a potion at someone, you still get the extra healing and the Blade Ward. And yeah, we knew this was going to happen, but poor Lozelle gets stomped into the earth. You know, and he's got very few hit points left now, and it's just about finishing him off and trying to get through those last few hit points. Also, remember, this is a party that haven't done the Hag, the Goblin Camp, and is quite low level for being in this fight. That's one of the things of doing it this way around, is this fight becomes harder, but then, oh my god, do the fights you have in a bit get a lot easier. Absolutely hilariously easier. So, all in all, it is what it is. I end up throwing time, and yeah, normally with that critical hit it didn't actually just end right there, but you know, I've also got room bombs which are great, and yeah, he's looking a little worse for wear now, and I can't believe I didn't kill him on those 3 attacks. But I am now very confident I've got what's left to finish this fight. I wish I would remember what his resistances are. Immune to Radiant is a bit of a pain in the butt, but you know, force of habit. I overuse that spell with Shadowheart. That's kind of like her go-to one. There's a character in our Wednesday night campaign that's like "Toll the Dead" constantly. You know, kind of. It's one of those things when you get used to just using one spell over and over again. But now Nips has gone down, so I think there's 3 people I've had down in this fight. But time to end this. 1 good throw and it'll be over. One good throw, 1 good throw. Just need to hit. There we go. And yeah, that was that. Bit of time getting everyone back on their feet and resurrecting and healing up. But all in all, we managed to get through the nasty forge fight in some sort of shape and order, and yeah, and a level up. So all good, and yeah, I managed to get my armors made. I'll have to do a video soon at some point going through each character's setup and magic items, etc. I don't think I'm doing amazingly well at spreading the right magic items in the right places, but you know, just so you know what I'm up to more deeply. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and that's Lizelle back on her feet.